InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. It is I once again. And yeah, today it's the daily snippet. The cosmic highway today is actually otherworldly, meaning that we are in the pie of the sky. And ultimately, the sky is the limit, the element of fire and of water, spirit to flow, the outer rims of the outer realms, and just gravitating to the realm of spirit and bringing that vibration into our body, our vessel, creating an otherworldly vibration within our body, our beingness. So the doorway is open to collaborate to our highest elevated juiciness. So I've coined today a Sanctuary Saturday. It's February 5th, 2022, and as always, welcome to today's daily snippet. I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic shamedium and subtle energetic surgeon. My thing is to merge the indigenous technologies, the spirit of West Africa, the subtle energies, the elements, and the elemental beings. Basically, it's the elemental realm into the imaginal realm. I do offerings, rituals, and prescriptions to add to the juice in your personal container, your ingredients. But my intention really is to merge these indigenous technologies, the spirit of West Africa, with the subtle realm, known as our energetic bodies, our auras, and whatnot, to assist us into navigating our prime directive, our inner genius, just really reinducing ourselves to the juice, the magic that resides within us. My name is Tanya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. For those of you that have been so kind to respond to me, to my poll, if you will, I am going to shift the timeline, or my timeline, and do my shows later in the day. Thank you for answering the call. I'm also creating the Musing Moon meditation for the Cosmic Highway, the Cosmic Full Moon in Leo at the magical degree of 27, at the nth degree, if you will. There's actually lots of 27s, which are the soul's harmonics of the moon and also of the spirit, acting from a space of spiritual emotions and just elevating our connections, our spiritual bandwidth. So there's a lot of super juicy galaxy stuff happening out there. With it being in Leo, it's our light, it's our golden star that we all are, may come online, elevating us to a realm that might appear a little otherworldly. So the message for the day being spiritual insight, I'm utilizing the seers for the conversation today on the messages from the other world, in a way. I guess that's how I see that. But first up, we have what's called the Five of Pentacles. So it's kind of to recognize our love that we have for ourselves, the Five of Pentacles. So it's a message that it's time to really address squarely any feelings that we have about safety and security that we might have been worried about within our own well-being. So are you stressed about your finances or your health? Maybe you're feeling left out from having prosperity that other people seem to be enjoying. So really, it's a message to counteract these corrosive energetic states. We're being asked to really reclaim our personal power, find our hunger with fierce positivity, and really seek opportunities in the current circumstances, you know. There's always juice hiding in the shadows, right? So if you've been stagnant for even a hot minute, or a hot second, mind you, you just ask yourself if you've been laser focused on the things that you are lacking in your life, you know. If it's fear, self-pity, helplessness, you know, if those kinds of frequencies try to dictate your reality, you know, literally flip the script or the switch. I like that. I tonality them both. But remember that against all odds, all oppression, all class barriers, anything, you know, it's all of everything. There's always a choice to move beyond our current limitations and make the absolute best of our illuminating, our luminous life, because we're not locked out from anything that our heart desires. And to really see the keys that'll really assist us there, to really authentically choose to open that door. The doors to really activate those magical opportunities. They're always opening for us. So this is kind of like financial or difficulties with health, feeling left out, maybe you feel ostracized, worrying about your safety and your security. So this really is a chance to clear away all of our blockages, whatever they might be. I would probably journal them. You know, sometimes we can't see our own blocks in front of us, can we? And then I have, following the Five of Pentacles, we have the Page of Pentacles. So this is where we can seek the light. Like, who will the light remind us of? So she's holding her mandala with a curious heart. She's got her roots into the bedrock to begin understanding the essence of manifesting that we all hold. And just remember, when you thought you were going to be an astronaut, so just go ahead and ground the energy before that dissipates. So we activate this practical magic with hope, and we pull energy from the earth, or this one, otherworldly, from the heavens, the sky, to really bring it into form, to manifest. So progress really happens one stage of life at a time. So we must kind of anchor it into the details, while at the same time simultaneously keeping our head in the clouds to dream. So there may be pieces that still need to fall into alignment, but that doesn't really mean that they aren't going to arrive. We're in a perfect place to kind of figure out how to make prosperity a reality, just seeking our confidence, be dependable. Remember that we hold this power. So no matter where we stand today, new perspectives, upgrades of consciousness are literally on the way. So use your plans for the future, expedite the arrival, and just knowing that we can be practical but also realistic, still running ahead to meet our dreams. So being that this is otherworldly, it's a message of being non-committed. Maybe we have a lack of progress, and we are learning from our past mistakes, especially things like procrastination or not bringing plans literally down to the earth plane or the other world, opening the door so that we can bring them down to earth. It's all truly perspective and just allowing spirit to flow and bring our manifestations into our reality, the earth plane. So it's like, what are we blocking? What's the shadow aspect that is blocking us? So we have, after that, following the flow, we have the Eight of Wands. And I'm not sure I've ever grabbed this one before, this message, but it's action. So we know those moments in life that feel like a sprint, like this type of speedy energy. It's at play, it's otherworldly, it's inspirational, it's insightful. It is now. That's the message of this card. So if you have a gut feeling that needs to be acted upon, truly listen to it. Like, woo! And with all this movement, with all the planets, they're all direct out in the cosmos. Just avoid being swept away by an unpredictable tide, a wave, a tidal wave, by really having clarity, clear thinking, clear thoughts, clear feeling even, all the clears about our heart's desires and the direction or the path that we want to go on, and just really harness this magical window of this opportunity. It's going to be swift. But being that it is otherworldly or in shadow, it's a suggestion that there's might be some sticky energy influencing our situation. So we want to move it, but it's like, ugh. So if our foot's stuck in the mud, then we've kind of locked our keys in the car. It's something like that, right? So if you're fluctuating between having a tendency to hesitate, you're just running so fast that you're burning out, you're burning the candle at both ends, it really is time to bring some balanced momentum, some flow into our driving force. Just having consistent movement that feels right in our heart space, that's the best place to start, right? So then it's like go time, and just fall into the flow of this quickening, thickening energy, and just swiftly face your desires head on, especially if you're feeling unstable, right? So it's like delayed, or that our energy's in focus, possibly a lack of direction, or having a hesitation in any form, or feeling the burnout. Really just move. Exercise for me is the best way to get the energy rooted and flowing. At least I find that to be true. Actually, movement, but I have excess of that root energy center anyway. That's online. If you're curious about that, schedule a session. I can tell you where your energies are kind of light up for you, or where to balance them out. And we finish up with this magical beauty. These are the qualities that we possess to attract really what our heart desires. So that's what I'm doing, like a 4-card to kind of get us in the flow, like the beginning, the flow to the end. But yeah, the Queen of Pentacles, and it's been a very pentacle kind of day with a little bit of fire of the wands, but she is literally the ultimate beauty, isn't she? And honestly, we're all queens. And, if you're not one yet, you soon will be. So this is just a reminder to step into our abundance by shifting out any shadows that we might have about wealth and security or prosperity, and just knowing that we are safe. Ultimately, we are safe. And just pay attention, or having conscious awareness that our finances are about to really level up a notch in our own personal money game. So really give yourself permission to like rise up into those elevated ranks. So it's really a positive message of having the creature comforts, really the happiness, the joy, the spiraling, elevating love, just ushering in the earthly medicine of life, that a life that's well lived, it's in the material plane, in the world. So if you are having any energetic hiccups, that's what I call them, connect with nature, find your inner peace, the calm, healing, and just our rooted power, and just harness all of the abundance that's really truly available to each and every one of us by bringing groundedness to our situation. Now, energetically, there are a variety of elementals that we can ground into. So if you're curious about that, you know, we've all been conditioned or programmed, or whatever terminology label is out there, to always ground into the earth, which is great if you're a person who is earthy. But if you're somebody like me and you're otherworldly, the earth feels heavy. Sometimes it feels a little too dense. But if you're curious about elementals and grounding, and you need a gatekeeper, a guardian, change your stars. That's an offering that I have, along with Secrets of the Otherworld. And of course, my Immersion, Voices of the Otherworld, is totally underway as well. I don't really talk about grounding so much in that, but I do talk about the elementals and the offerings. You know, those are just my offerings. So it's really the ability to shower others with the warmth and the blessings, and doing so from having a heart that's charitable and just being in community, creating a community, a family, a village. Those are kind of the themes of this element of both earth and mineral, and just having a nurturing, down-to-earth approach. And the gifts, both stability and support to those, obviously, that we love in our village, in our garden. However, we really don't want to overextend our energy, enabling others by overly mothering them. You know, we really need to learn to be sufficient, self-sufficient, and kind of walk on our own path as well. And just bring in our self-worth, our guidance, our magic, and even the power of love, maintaining deeply while just enjoying life, being connected to life, all the aspects, like leading it with the outpouring of the warmth and the blessings and abundance, and more importantly, love, right? So it's like the chalice of overpouring love brings ultimate joy to the village. So this truly is the healer's card, and we are all healers. Just sometimes we all have those energetic hiccups. I do too. And we just need a guardian, a teacher to assist us to ground our love space into the earth plane and utilize our kindness, and while at the same time being grounded and down to the earth, connected, right? In that way, into the earth star. That's kind of where the elemental hub is, in a way. That's kind of how I see that. You don't have to agree or disagree. It doesn't matter. Mostly it's an opinion. And on the elemental highway, which I think this is fascinating, it's almost as if we could not get rid of the energy of the ox, but we have a Yin Earth Ox of a day. So, you know, it's like we just can't move away from the energy just quite yet. So it's like we need to finish the cleanup, if you will, and just letting go of the old to bring in the new. And we have the energy of the tiger until around the 5th of month on the month branch, and then the rabbit's going to come in, a yin water rabbit. But our day is a very wet earth. We've got a lot of water, so it's wet earth. So there's dry earth and there's wet earth. I guess I should have explained that a little bit better about earth. Earth is always a transitional element. It's always in between the seasons, not just the seasons of the year, but it's an interseason animal, if you will, energy. But we have all of the elements today, and we have a very wet earth. So the yin of our day, it's our inner constitution, and the energy of the ox is just kind of prodding along in the mud. And oxes are energetically angry on the inside. They're really tired of prodding along. They really want to be free. They want freedom. They want to be independent. Or do they? So I know some oxen. How about you? Comment there, oxens. Oh boy. So yeah, the threats. But doing the same thing day in and day out. So they really want to be free. They want to be creative. A lot of them feel as if they're not living up to their own potential. They can develop issues of energetic liver problems, energy of anger. They can literally create this emotional habitat energetically Liver issues might occur, vision problems due to the blinders being on. It's the nervous system, our energy circulation of the vitality. So if their dreams aren't realized, they really turn into addictions. Sugar is numbing, but beginning life with visions and dreams, the addictions come from not being able to fully express themselves in light. So the disappointments kind of set in, and that leads to eating more and more and more food, right? And then the cycle just gets on repeat. And the more weight they put on, the less desirable they feel, and the more they see, and they turn into hibernating. They feel stagnant. So then the cycle repeats, and then the stomach, because everything's connected energetically or otherwise, then they start having stomach issues along with allergies. And that creates a world, something to protect them from the outer world. They feel kind of victimized by life. And then they start drawing in people that mirror that shadow element or that shadow energy. So not to go down the rabbit hole, but it's like the victim roles, if you will. So the opposing force is thriving, seeing the optimistic venue on the other side of that coin. Sorry, I thought my phone was ringing. But with that, just allowing our essence, our spiritual acumen to really thrive and awaken the dreams, the river of dreams that we have put away in our own filing cabinet, and just taking responsibility to really flip the switch and turn life around. We have water on the stems, nature or wood to give us some assistance to our day. Maybe warm it up a little bit, though, is all. I would probably bring in more fire. Obviously, I'm going to light a candle. I've got them burning 24/7. And just open up an otherworldly conversation, a conversation like a spirit to an ancestor, an angelic being, an otherworldly being. And the moon being in the season of Aries, our emotions, like they're ready to act, hopefully in a higher frequency vibration, light and love, acting on spiritual light and love. And we have the juice to have an otherworldly, energetically supercharged day. So it's kind of like this multi-dimensional roller coaster ride, like when you get a brand new supercharged car or a truck that just lights us up. You get so juicy excited, and speed, the need for speed. I grew up with race cars. What can I say? But you might feel as if you are flowing around like a cloud, just floating or flowing, and connect with our guardians, the gatekeepers of our galaxy, the ancestral realm, the keepers of the wild, the little people that come with the bell or the rattle, the realms really that are otherworldly beings. It could be an angel or whatever that is for you. So it's as if we have the insight to connect directly to our intuitive channel, our psychic data, and having like spatial, spiritual realizations. And telepathy, our telepathy channel, that's really a thing. Just surfing the waves and be open to what really just gravitates or flows in. And most oftentimes of the insight that we're receiving, it might just be more juicy than it appears. You might have some spiritual reflecting or reflection. So tune into your intuition, listen to it. So listening, tuning, right? Tuning forks, the vibration that really creates the goodness and the goodies. So feel into those waves and pay attention to the frequencies. I would literally take a side note. There's really no need to attach to an outcome. So our soul experiences are actually highlighted as well. So just keep the enthusiasm going. And if you get the funny no-go feeling, the no-go, just know it's a no for now, because a new door is going to open to a galactic breakthrough and all the possibilities. And all in all, really make it this intuitive tuning fork kind of day. Like sound is a tone and light carries a note. So just be an observer in your own cosmic highway, the higher and the outer transcendent centers. We are really in the streams of opening to elevated frequencies. So be in the flow and literally go with the flow. Just having our personal streams connected to faith and acting out on our faith. I talked about faith the other day. Super juicy. Just holding that frequency, that sound, that note, the character of the ingredient. But create your sanctuary, your own personal sacred container, if you will. So it's this combination of our soul's harmonic, all of our symbols, the meta signs, if you will, the meta otherworldly signs, and also our spiritual acumen. So it's a day to really celebrate the juice, the connection to the guardians and the gatekeepers, elemental or otherwise, and being that the ox is the yoke around our necks, I wanted to bring in the herbs, the essential oils that actually I would recommend for the energetic side of it. I'm a practicing holistic show medium, so as always, ask your physical health provider before playing with any herbs, right? Or essential oils for that matter. I'm a highly sensitive person, so I mean, I have reactions to certain ones just energetically. I'm just hyper aware. But rosemary was traditionally used by Indian women in their moon huts during menstruation. So it was put around the perimeter to keep out evil spirits, as protection, to protect them, because they felt psychically open during this time of the month. So they would have deep prophetic dreams. So rosemary assists us to feel anger, but not to have it close in on us, like close in on us. So it helps to hold us in a safe place while we're kind of processing the anger. It's also used for remembrance, being able to remember the resentment and the anger, but in a way that really aids in the processing of it. And the liver pathway is also related to PMS and menstruation. It's the energy of nature or wood, and it needs to be in balance so we really don't lash out. Where the gallbladder pathway, that relates to wise decisions and excellent execution. So these are the energy pathways I'm talking about. But energetically, we have this magical system, quite frankly, inside and out. That's how I created the Energy Body Demystified. It's the merging of the energy body and our physical body to have that collaboration. Fennel's another great balancer for the energy of the ox. I have fennel. I just love the taste of fennel as well, whether it's in the herb or an essential oil. But that helps to release toxins, which is also great for the liver itself and that pathway. But it also helps us find our motivation so we can move independently. That's what the ox needs for freedom. And it can also brighten a gloomy personality or a day. Where Ylang Ylang, which is absolutely one of my salivating favorites, adds a touch of humor. It's an excellent antidepressant. It has this light-hearted energy. I was kind of musing about Ylang Ylang. There's a blend with Ylang Ylang and bergamot and sandalwood that I'm going to put together as a blend. It's otherworldly, like lavishing is kind of the word, but salivating and lavishing at the same time. But Ylang Ylang will take us to the issues of our root center, which generally are fear and anger. So it's got this personal power plant that really washes away impurities of our thoughts and our judgments, usually the ones that we have for ourselves. So it's the inner confidence to really stay centered. So these aromas or essential oils, herbs, they help keep this energy in a focused, directed space for both the rat and the fox. There are other herbs that are known to be great for the liver, but that's kind of where I ended there with that today, like dandelion root. But do your research. I'm just opening the door to other intuitive insight. And being that we are connected to spirit today, it really is going to feel a little bit otherworldly, connecting to the realms of the angelic beings, all the other beings really. But our crown is online, and it's a double crown day. So the insight is like a double dose of intuition and psychic information, data, whatever word you want to choose. But it's colors of violets and pinks and really anything that brings you to a vibration that connects you to spirit. And since our day has the elements, really all of them, fire's hidden, so I would bring in the element of fire to connect with the realm of the ancestor spirit, plus to dry up some of that soggy earth because we don't want the roots of the tiger, the wood there, to rot. So I would bring in fire. I would light a candle, probably a red one, the ancestors, connect with the lineage that you came from. It's like when did you last honor an ancestor or have an ancestor conversation? Go to the cemetery, etc., and just have a conversation with them. Sometimes it feels like it's one-sided, but all of a sudden you get insight, you get funny little memos and messages that are just like butterflies, right? So it's our spirit energy, and fire is really the other world. It's source, it's our dreams, it's our visions. It's part of our spiritual connection with the crown. So yeah, it's kind of a fire intuitive kind of insight kind of a day. But it's also the crown, it's the seed sound of Ong. And I would just tune into spirit and flow with the tone that you are literally called to. It's really a day to have faith and be in the flow of peace, the calm, connect to the divine, feminine or otherwise, the great spirit, the oneness, and really just take a stand to live in the highest, brightest, elevated light there is. And I would literally affirm that I am in the streams having faith in an otherworldly experience, and just open, give a shout out to having that exploration. So with all of that, thanks for tuning in today. I'm working on finding a time that actually resonates with the galaxy. It might be the midnight hour, but we'll see. I will see you on the other side as always, InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you.